today we have a very special person that will explain you the first steps going into entrepreneurship. And this person is Patricia. Patricia is starting a new company named Oceanogami, or Oceanogame, I don't know. Sorry. I will give the word to Patricia. She's a oceanographic scientist, and I'm sorry we have had some technical problems, but now is everything working. So I wish you a very interesting webinar and give the word to Patricia.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. I would like now to imagine that you are a fish and you live in a tank where you have your friends and family, you know your environment, so you're very comfortable there. You don't want to live there. It's nice. But then you think to explore other things now, to go outside of your tank to the ocean. You are scared, but at the same time you're excited because you know you can discover new friends, new life, new opportunities. So then you decide to jump. Hello, my name is Patricia, and I'm the founder of Oceanogami, and I'm going to explain you the first steps that I went from the academia to business. When I was a child, I was very passionate of the ocean. I was also passionate about many other things, but I decided to focus my career on marine conservation. So I was doing the first years like most of us did when you finish your degree, your biology. I finished my biology degree, and then I started to do research for some years in universities or research institutes in different places, wherever you find opportunities. But then I wanted to have some other experiences, so I joined a company in Maldives for 1 year doing coral restoration. I was working in ecotourism sector. I was very exciting, but at the same time I was missing research. So I came back to Europe and started this PhD program in the Mediterranean, funded by Marie Curie. And I was working for 3 years doing research. Then I step a bit when I finished the PhD. I decided also to have other experience outside of the academia, so I joined an NGO in Galapagos. That was my last year, and also it was very good experience. In this, I have learned many different skills that I can apply now for being an entrepreneur. So it's really important to have these skills. But anyways, I was always focusing on, I was doing research most of the time. And when I did this big step outside of the academia was this year when I decided to try to do entrepreneurship. So I'm going to explain you now. I jumped to the ocean to explore a bit, and then the people was asking me, what do you do for a living? That is one of the most difficult questions for me because, and I think for some scientists, like sometimes you don't know how to explain what are you doing in easy words and that everybody understands. And then I'm going to try to explain you now what we do in Oceanogami. We found out that there's a big disconnection between the researchers, the companies, the governments, the NGOs for marine conservation. So we wanted to be a link between these sectors. In Oceanogami, we are the meeting point with the oceans, and Oceano means in the Spanish term of ocean, and Gami means spirits, and we believe in the concept of blue society, a vision that we work, a society benefits from the ocean, but at the same time, the environmental integrity is preserved. Oceanogami is an international marine environmental consultancy with multidisciplinary professionals for ocean sustainability. We believe that multidisciplinarity is the key for our work. And we are a stakeholder liaison between the private sectors, NGOs, academia, governments, and other sectors involved in the marine environment. We are the founders. David and I, we know each other for many years. We have done the master's and also the PhD in the same program. And we decided to start that together. He's still working inside the tank. He's still a researcher. What is also good that he gives this connection to research, because we don't want to disconnect from that. And he's helping on his free time. And I'm basically involved like full-time here in Barcelona, based in Barcelona. We offer these services. We offer marine protected areas. We are specialized in this field, in marine protected areas. I will explain more later about it. Consultancy services, environmental consultancy, capacity building trainings, also for example, leadership for marine conservation, communication, organization of events between the different sectors for a common issue, and communication activities. So we start our experiment to try. I was not so familiar at all on the business world. So for me, it was everything new. I have learned a lot this year, and I encourage you, if you are thinking about it, jump there and try it. It's really exciting. You learn a lot. I needed, of course, some help. So I joined. There are so many programs now that you can get help, especially in Europe. And in Barcelona, there are also many. So I'm going to explain now the ones in Barcelona, but for sure there are many in your cities where you live. So I have joined first the PMEC, that gives you advice for setting up your small company, and also gives you many contacts on the business world. Pre-incubation, it's a program that helps you to develop your idea. From the initial idea to the final idea can be very different. So you have to be also open to evolve your idea. Your initial idea can be one, and then the new one can be completely different. And I am now also part of the woman entrepreneurship program called Lidera, that teach you how to make a business plan, a finance plan, marketing plan, all this. So everything new that I have learned this year. And this is just an example of a business model canvas. We did so many of these exercises to complete, to develop our idea and make a model. But one of the things that I think is the most important is that maybe you know what you like to do and what you are good at, but it's important to know what the people will pay for, what the people need. So when you have your idea, you need to take into account that. So it's important actually to go into the market and sell your product, your service, and try it, and get feedback, because then you will know if really what the idea you have is good or not, or you have to improve it, and it's a try and error thing, no? We also have evaluate our competitors, that I want to call them potential partners, and also inspiring people, because you learn a lot from your competitors. Don't think about the competitors in the bad way. You can also look at it in the good way. At the beginning, we thought that we didn't have many people working on this, and then you start to Google it and search it, and you find quite a lot of people working on similar ideas and things like that. But then it's important to find that and to make your difference, make your label, something that you differentiate from the others, and from the ones that you can collaborate, especially if you are a startup, a small startup company, collaborate, see if you can. Then we increase a bit the team, always focusing on multidisciplinarity. So even though we all have a link with ocean sustainability, but we come from different fields. So some people come from the business world, some people come from the communication. So we are quite in this multidisciplinary. I would like to be more, so we are getting there. We have also collaborated in Ecuador, where we are also collaborating with. If it's also important, if you want to grow a bit, to go a bit internationally. But I encourage first to act locally, and then later globally, to focus on something and to make good starting. That's a starting point locally. This is the first clients that we had. And this is also the partners that we have. So yeah, we try always to collaborate with different organizations that do similar things and have similar values. And then we start to explore the services, no? We start to explore the market. I started just as an independent consultant, so I was hired by WWF to do some organized events, mainly logistic and organization of events between sectors. And I found very interesting that in Catalonia, in Palamos, is a good example of sustainable fisheries. And then we were doing this fisheries exchange knowledge between countries. And I found this really interesting, and I think it's a potential to explore, to export it to other countries, such as, for example, in Ecuador. And other service that we explore is marine protected areas. Also, as a consultant, we were working on this, developing just the first steps for developing a proposal, a common proposal for declaring a stakeholder engagement process for helping to protect one area. We have experience in that field, in marine protected areas, so we're going to keep working on it. And this is a long process, but it's very interesting where you engage different sectors for the protection of an area, and we have started that in the south of Spain. And now the last services that we have explored that we want to keep working on it, improving it, and developing the idea is these marine debris corporate campaigns. So a company has contacted us recently. This company makes this 6-pack plastic rings, and through Ambiente Europeo, which is an NGO that works on the marine debris on Spain and all Europe, we have done this campaign for the company that I'm going to explain you now. We have done this intersectoral meeting with researchers, business, and fisheries. We have done campaigns with this company, and we have provided a report and media materials. And this is some pictures of the campaign. On the left, we have a researcher talking about the importance of plastics and microplastics. This company is improving now his product to be biodegradable. So this is very important now, and now it's very timely because of the European law that in 3 years, lot of the one-use plastics, they are going to be forbidden. So the companies, they have to innovate their products and they have to find new solutions. So we have also done this campaign where we counted how many of their products we found on the beach. We provided a report, etc. And here it is a small short video on the feedback from the global sales manager of the company.
I think just the fact that so many people have come together to do the right thing. And we're trying to make sure that we're responsible in terms of the way we use our packaging, and that we reuse it, and that we ensure that we don't pollute the environment, the seas, the beaches. So it's a fantastic initiative.
Mm-hmm. So the benefits that we provide for the company is to increase their awareness, to provide them contacts for researchers, to improve their products, and finally, this will increase the economy and more people will buy it because it will be more sustainable. And then we have also done several questionnaires to have their feedback. This is very important when you are trying your product, your service, to get feedback, to know how to improve it. So one of the questions that we ask if they change their responsible habits after the activity. And one interesting thing is that yes, most of them, they change it, and also they have aware others. So you have made like a small change. And other things that we have done this year is we made the first draft of the business plan. We also participate in events and conferences. This is super important. So to do a lot of networking, meeting new people from different fields, you learn a lot from the others. And you may find new collaborators, as I found also. And you increase your local and international network, particularly locally. I was like 10 years living outside of Barcelona, so I didn't have many local network. So this year I have increased the local network for the company. And receive mentoring and also mentor others. And create and promote social media and website. So we have made the website, the social media. This is important to make you sell what you are, to give you visibility, you know. And we have also received some scholarships for these entrepreneurship programs that I told you about. Received a small also media grant for the Marie Curie Alumni Association that will help to develop better the website and social media, and got our first clients. So we are very happy of our starting. And I wanted to share with you also some lessons, and maybe if you are in a similar situation than I am, so maybe this can help you. And being an entrepreneur, it is fun and exciting. So just do it. You meet new people outside of your tank and do a lot of co-working. It's really fun. You learn from people from different fields and learn from other entrepreneurs, also from other ideas. Now I have new ideas that they came from other entrepreneurs, so I changed that. And what you can offer is, you have to consider what you can offer and what is needed. Your idea can evolve from the initial idea to the final idea, can evolve quite a lot. So be open to that, also to change your idea. Choose wise your team and partners. Your team and partners, the better it will be that they are different than you somehow, so you can work together, but at the same time, they have other skills than you, so we can complement each other. And also that they have time to be involved in the project. It's very important at the first years, especially. You have to invest a lot of time and energy in the project, and learn from the competition. As I say, it's when you can improve your idea from the competition. Networking, contacts. Now through networking, now we have contacts also, so some potential collaborators that we are going to do some platform and applications. So we are going to start to do some technologies to our services, that this is what it was missing in our services. So we are going to develop more the idea next year. And start now, don't be afraid, try it your first product and service and see how it goes. And of course, you need to be consistent, persuasive, and very patient. For next steps for next year, we want to elaborate, this is the wishes for next year, this business plan for the next 3 years. So we already have the first draft, but we want to make a plan for the next years. Then to have an interdisciplinary team. We already have some collaborators that they want to join the project, so that's really, really good. More interdisciplinary than is now. And we also have some interns that they are going to join, and we expect to have new projects and clients, and then to continue. Thank you very much. And now I will be very happy to hear from your experiences. And if you have any questions, it was a bit difficult to summarize everything in one presentation. So it will be great to hear from you, and maybe we can help each other with our experiences. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patricia. The people that is attending can write at the chat if they have some questions, so we can give them to Patricia. At the moment, there is no questions at the chat. So maybe I make a short how did you get the idea to start to work as entrepreneur? Why was the basic motivation? But you could do this maybe as project in research. Mm-hmm. Why then the step to entrepreneurship?
Yeah, for me, it was very exciting to go out of my comfort zone, so the tank, as I say, and to learn new things and feeling more independent as well. You feel more. I think it's a thing that can help you to grow as a person professionally. So this is more the thing, and then you have. If you really encourage that, you have limited possibilities. So you have you can choose your path, your way.
So that you decided to be. Do you have someone around you that is also an entrepreneur that you have see how that works, what it means?
Not actually, I was more I was discovering this year. So this year I met a lot of people, and it's super interesting because you are learning. There's people with a lot of initiative, creative, and I think also being a researcher, you have the skills for that. So for the people who is into research, because you have these skills already, the researchers have these skills. So yes, I was more inspired right nowadays when I start to meet the world. Yes, so I didn't know much what I was getting into until this year, but it's really exciting.
Great. We have some questions. I will read them because we are talking, and I think it's easier. The one is, how do you define an entrepreneur? Because in Germany, for instance, where I'm living also, you have companies and you have Gewerbetreibende, so somebody that maybe offers a product and is on as how to say it in English, so commercial. Is a question of size, or what is your definition for an entrepreneurship?
Mm-hmm. Okay, for me, entrepreneurship is exploring the business world, exploring the ideas to build your idea, to make your thing. So it's like an exploration.
So you don't mean that it's a question of size? I don't mean two. So I think.
I think when you're an entrepreneur, it's the beginning. It's like so you want to run a new business, something, and then the first steps for me. I don't know if it's the same this definition in Germany or in English, but and here in the programs that we are, they teach you to that. No, they teach you that. So when we call ourselves entrepreneurs, it's because we are in this process, in this beginning process.
Yeah, I think it's very important to define for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there are small companies or people that is working as freelance that never will see themselves as company, and there are a very small consultancy where you say for the beginning, I'm a company, even if I'm only one or two people.
Yes, exactly. So what do they teach you in the entrepreneurship program is that you are a company, and even if you are one person, you are a single company.
Yeah.
And of course, we right now we are two, but full time it's me, and then we have many collaborators. But the idea is to build a small business consultancy company. This is what we aim for next year. But this you have to do it slowly, And yeah, but you can still call yourself a small. It's a startup, and yes, that's why you call you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, there are two more questions. I will change the position of the questions because I think it passed better with the speak that we have now. The one is somebody say thank you for the great talk. I'm really curious. It's already possible for you to live off of this. How long do you think it takes for a consulting service like this to become viable?
Sorry, can you repeat the first part?
Yeah. So he said thank you for the talk, and he want to know if you can live, like if you can maintain yourself.
It's really challenging, but in any startup business, the first year or first 2 years is really challenging. That's why you have to make a good plan. As a consultant, right now I was maintaining myself, but with, for example, I had also help from the government. Like we had here, I had a co-working space for free for some months. So these things also help you. And with the consultancies, if you do several consultancies, you can organize yourself to maintain the company. but we are thinking now offering a different kind of services, like other type of consultancy. So if you offer like yes, to make an application on a platform, something like that, then you can have another type of business, another income different than the consultancies.
Yeah. And the other question that I think is very good now to ask you. That is, Annika is interested in how to obtain initial funding and how to hire the first employees, because obviously everyone has their economic realities that need to be fulfilled.
Yes. Yeah. That is, that is going to be the step of next year. So by the moment we have collaborators, and we have also interns that they get the grants. So this is how we are starting. But again, you need to make a good plan. Then first a good finance plan, and then with that you consider how much you can pay for. In the case of consultancies, what we are doing right now is to pay for consultants. So we have freelance consultants, collaborators, and then we have a consultancy we share for the hours that we spend on the work. This is how we are doing right now. But to have a fixed staff, then you need to make a plan, of course, and have an income that is coming frequent and consistent. Yeah. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's important first to work with partners that you can pay freelance, because then you have only the money that you have planned at the project to give away, and you can check that you have enough also for yourself. And if you want to hire somebody, then you have to check not only that you have enough money for the first months, but also for the part, not only for the salary, but also for the part that you have to pay as own employer. So exactly. That's not few, that's human take in account. And I think the way to work with freelance is a very good start for you. It's a good idea.
Yes, because you need to consider so many costs for the company. No, depends. A consultancy company, it's minimum cost, but if you have other type of company that you need to spend money in a platform, in a good website, in marketing, so you have to consider all these costs in your plan.
And how did you get the money? You said you have get some support for do some of the things. It was a local initiative, or
so I got from consultancies. From consultancies, I was getting you can say salary from consultancies, and then help from small grants. And these programs work for free. For example, these entrepreneurship programs, you have to go to a process of application and selection, but if you get selected, then you have for free. And they also help you a lot. They give you a free co-working office. So there are many benefits that you can get, probably not only in Barcelona, but in other places.
Yeah, I can also say this from Germany. As I started also some years ago, I could visit also some courses and get some ideas and support information for free.
Yeah, there are also many subvenciones. I don't know how it's called in English. Subventions, like small grants from the government. Sometimes, like when you start a business, they give you help. So for starting, you can also apply for this.
Did you have also, for instance, assessment for the not financial part, but the taxes? Sorry.
So, yeah, you need to get that. I was having a consultant for that. Somebody that's helping me for that, for the finance. It's not so difficult once you learn, but at the beginning, it's like a new world. It's like, I don't know how to make an invoice or things like that, things that look simple at the beginning, and you need to make it right. So it's good to have somebody that helps you for the first steps and to do all the taxes and things right.
Yeah, that is important to have somebody that knows a lot about. Yes.
Yeah, you cannot know everything, but it's good that you have a knowledge of it. So you can understand it. If who is helping you is telling you something, you know where it comes from. So it's good to have a broad understanding, but of course sometimes you need help from specialists.
Yeah, my position was at the beginning I have do it everything together with an assessment, but also do the things by myself. And at some point I decided it's more expensive if I do it by myself, and it's better if I use my time to earn money and not to do the finance.
Exactly, because time is money. So if you're spending time on this, you're not getting money for consultants. For consultancies or things like that. Yeah.
Okay, we have another question. Do you think it's possible to start something like this alongside an academic job, or is too much work?
Okay, that's a good question. So there's many people that combine their current job with entrepreneurship. So starting their startup and things like that. So it's possible. You will not have many free time for doing other things. But it's important to have a balance. So, and in my experience, I recommend, if you really want to do this, and you can, okay, economically also you can, on time, and you have time, I encourage you to do it, focusing on it, because if you have another job, it's very difficult to combine. Like in my case, I had to dedicate at least me full time. But if you are 2 or 3 people, then maybe you can manage better. But this requires a lot of effort. But you will see when you start. So if you haven't started yet, and you will see how much time it takes. It's not as easy as we think at the beginning. But yeah, I don't know if you have any other recommendation on that, Natalia.
No, it's a good idea. I think you can start with the idea when you are working. You can start to develop where do you want to go, and to make like the market analysis and feedback, and then prepare the things. But at some point, do you have to leave and to go 100% at the entrepreneurship? It's
Yes.
If you do it only with half of your heart, will not work.
Completely agree. Yeah.
So we have only used half hour, but I don't see any other questions. Maybe I wait a little bit. Maybe it's coming something up. I have another question for you. You have talked about networks, and you have said you were abroad, so you have not much local networks. How are you working now, or what are your steps to try to increase your local network?
Okay, thanks for the question. So yes, I have an international network quite good. So in the Mediterranean in general, in the US, because I was working there, in Ecuador as well, but then in Barcelona, as I said, there was like 10 years that I didn't work here, but I had a small network, so I started with that. And I use a lot LinkedIn. For me, LinkedIn is a very good source for pre-contacted people. And then I meet in person, of course, because meeting in person is essential. So then at the beginning, if you can, of course, but at the beginning I text a few tests and I say what I'm doing, and just asking, if you are interested or what the other person is doing, and then you find some commonalities, maybe some synergies, things like that. And also attending to a lot of events from your competition as well, and from the other partners, from other organizations. Like I have attended also to beach cleaning events where I met also new people, and I increased my network quite a lot in this year. Join also some programs. So for example, here in Barcelona, there is a program that is called Sustainable Barcelona, and all organizations that work for sustainability are in this. So things like that help you. And there is a strong community. I think you find that you are not alone. That's the important thing, no? At the beginning, when you are starting, if you start, and then you start to meet new people, even though in places where you don't think that you will find. Like I found one of my through like she's now working as my partner. We're collaborating. I met her in dancing tango. So you never know. Even if you are doing your one hobby, and you start to talk about work, and then you say, okay, she's working related into plastics. So, and then we are going to collaborate now together. So you never know where you're going to meet these new potential collaborators and how you're going to build your network, but you have always to be very open-minded to that.
Yeah, I'd say every time you normally meet twice in life. So you never know which person you have, in which constellation you will meet again, and it will be important for you.
Yes, yeah, and the co-working also gives you a lot of chances to increase your network and meeting people from other disciplines as well. If you are joining a co-working office, also I encourage that.
Great. Yeah, maybe some question from the people hearing us.
Yeah, do we have any more questions or?
No, it's nothing. I have had. Yes. How do you think? My experience said that not everybody has a personality to be entrepreneur. Do you think it is correct, or do you think everybody could be entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's also a good question. So I met people with different we can say personalities being entrepreneurs. They try to combine each other. For example, if one person is much more rational, things maybe more shy, and the other person complements and it's more impulsive and creative or extrovert. So if you mix maybe with people, because I don't think there is we can say a prototype of entrepreneur. I met people with different personalities and things. Yeah, they are always, you need to be also open-minded and creative, that's for sure, and not be afraid of, so have a bit of that. But it all depends also with who you partner, or if you see that you're missing some skills and you are maybe a bit afraid of being an entrepreneur, then you can join. If you are partnering with other people, then you can do it together, and it's always better, when you have a partner with you that goes through the process.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
It's much easier, but not every time it's possible. We have another question. Maria asked if it's good to make first a product and sell it, or first wait for somebody that asks you to prepare a product.
Okay, so so when you have a product, one thing that usually people recommend you is that don't wait so much time to release your product to make it the best product, because it's never going. You need to try it into the market. So if you have an idea, I encourage you maybe to do some before releasing the product, doing some interviews and finding if there is a need in the market for that product, finding like that. This could be a way. The other way that you are suggesting is also good. It's how it worked, actually. People was asking me for a service. I did it, and then I saw it had a lot of potential, and then I thought, okay, let's evolve it and make it better. So the other way is also good, and even better in the way that you already know that people is asking for that. But the thing is that then you got to make it more original and better and develop it, but as everything.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I think if you have nothing, it's difficult to present yourself.
Yeah.
So even if you don't sell it, you have to have a product in some way or services that you are offering. So you have to present yourself with something. And if maybe somebody comes and asks you to change it a little bit and do something a little bit different or completely different, but then I think it's a mix about clients that ask you for something, and your own motivation and your own ideas.
Yes, exactly. So you have, of course, to be passionate to do that, no? To do what they are asking for.
Do you think is important? What is more important for you, to keep track on your ideas or to make money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now is to keep track of. I mean, for me, more than keep track of the ideas is to follow your values. So if there is something that you feel uncomfortable of doing it, doesn't matter if they pay you a lot. From my view, it all depends on each one, but I don't feel comfortable to do it. So more or less, you need to find a balance, no? Just sometimes you are in the yellow zone, no? You are there, that, like, for example, in my case, working with companies that they produce plastics, so it could be a kind of conflict, no? But then you have to think an overall picture and why you are doing that. So what's the main reason why you are doing that? And if it follows what you aim for, with your values, then it's okay. And of course, you need minimum money to sustain your company, and it's a business, so you are also thinking. You have to think into that your business is sustainable, because it's not an NGO or something different. So you need to make money from it as well.
Yeah, more money if you have employees.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I have no more questions.
Okay, that's good. See, if if anyone has more questions, they can send me an email or write me.
That's great.
Yes.
I think it's also great that you offer us a kind of mentorship. I think to give and to get is everything in movement when you are an entrepreneur.
Yeah. It is important to collaborate with each other and help each other.
Okay, thank you. Really, Spielen hat Tini wrote at the commentary. I think it was really inspiring. And I thank you very much, Patricia, for your time and to be with us in the BSB webinar today. And I don't see that more comments are coming, so we will see. We close now. You can contact Patricia directly if you have more questions, and keep on track. We will make more webinars next year, and in the meantime, we wish you from the BSB group everything well for the next days, and a good happy new year and starting the new year. And please keep on track, give us information, give us feedback. If you have some themes that you are interested about, then let us know. Maybe we can find the right speaker for it. So we will be very glad to skip your giving information. Happy holidays.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For joining the webinar.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.